Welcome to Manifesting Mothering Mentors, Journaling for Self-Care. I'm Mary Knipple, the Writer Unleashed and the founder of YourWritingMentor.com. I created this virtual workshop so that I could have a conversation with you about something that is near and dear to my heart and something that we all can do because we have the tools at the ends of our fingertips to take pen in hand and to write in a journal. What I'm going to share with you today are a few tips and techniques that have stood me in good I don't know if you can see me because Take two. I'm Mary Knipple, the Writer Unleashed and the founder of YourWritingMentor.com. I would love to welcome you to Manifesting Mothering Mentors today, journaling as self-care. Because we have at the ends of our fingertips a great tool to be able to record our thoughts and have conversations on paper in a journal. And it is such a powerful tool that I want to share the message that we all can take advantage of this powerful tool, and we don't have to learn a new skill. We don't have to travel to India to work with a guru or to buy a new programmer or sign up for a new 6-month, year-long system to be able to take advantage of this. And it's something that has been in play for thousands of years. The hieroglyphics in the caves had the cavemen writing down their stories, their legacy. So it's not that we have this big business that we're going to promote by using the things that come up in our journal. We are going to record daily life. It's all in the details. One of the reasons I'm so passionate about this is because I have been using a journal since I was 11, and it came to be a really valuable resource for me when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, not once, but twice. And the second time, I really had to stop and take stock of, well, what is it that I want to accomplish in this lifetime, and how am I going to do that? And writing has always been a way that I looked to work through things and to capture my ideas and to really solidify where am I going and how am I going to get there. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, is using the journal as a vehicle for you to propel yourself forward in your life. It can be for personal reasons, that you want to get a handle on the spinning wheel that you're on and make it a path for you to get from point A to point B. It can be that you're starting a business and you want to have a container for this idea, that idea, and how am I developing this, and when am I going to do that? So it's a way for you to know where you're going and how you're going to get there and to track your progress. But always, always, your journal is a safe container for your dreams. And being able to put the thoughts that are on your mind and running through your head, maybe even keeping you up at night or waking you up at night because they won't let you go. It's a way for you to have that direct connection between your head and your heart, and it comes out in your hand, writing across the page. And that's one of the things that I want to stress here, is that as much as we are connected to our gadgets and we don't stray very far from our phones and our computer screens and our computer keyboards, we have to slow down and really listen to our thoughts. And when we're writing, it gives us a chance to really connect with what it is we want to hear from our subconscious. And that's why it's really important for you to be writing it down in your journal, to take that pen on that blank page. And there have been many famous people who have recorded for posterity who they were and why they did what they were doing. And I am here to reiterate to you that your life matters. What you do matters, because nobody can tell your story from the inside except you. And you know the details. And that's what you're putting down in your journal. You are recording what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it and what keeps you doing it. You know your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, having a journal is a great way to discover your purpose. Unleash the stories that are holding you back, because you can break them down, dissect them over and over again. Ask the question, what do I think of this? What do I need to know to move forward? What are my next steps? And when you're quiet, you can listen to what the next steps are to be, because your spirit, your soul, your heart, your subconscious, whatever you call that little voice inside, that is going to be your guide in moving forward. And while we're at on the subject of little voices, I know from experience that there's a little voice that gets louder and louder. The chatter is like, who do you think you are? And what do you mean you're writing something? Who's going to read it? And who would care? You're just one person. And who told you that you were an expert? And I understand. I have those voices too. But I'll tell you a secret. They're not stopping me. I may hesitate, but they don't stop me. And when they do come up, I'm getting emotional now because I am so passionate about they won't stop me, and I don't want them to stop you, because we are in good company when those critics come up and say, who do you think you are? Ever heard of a little writer called Maya Angelou? Someone who has written, I don't know how many volumes she has written, and how many people aspire to write something the way she does and quote her and admire what she accomplished in her life. She had one of her favorite sayings was she would pick up a notebook and say, oh my gosh, here's another blank page. They're going to find out I'm a fraud. Yeah, she said that. And we are in really good company, because if the critic still sat on her shoulder, then we can just say, yep, I have my doubts, but you're not stopping me, and brush it aside. So when we sit down to write, and writing in our journal is something we do for ourselves. Because the first reader that we really have to connect with is ourselves. And when we decide that we're taking it from our journal and putting it out there somewhere else, then we think about who we are meant to impact with our writing. But first and foremost, we are engaging with ourselves, getting to know ourselves better on the pages of our journals. Because think about it. Have you ever read anything that really inspired you? And what if that author had thought, why bother? And has anyone ever said to you, you know, what really, that really touched me. I loved hearing what you had to say. And what if you could impact thousands with what you write? Your words of wisdom could impact thousands. But you won't unless you share your writing. And to begin with, you have to start writing. And what better way than to take 5 minutes a day to sit down with your journal and record your thoughts. And you may be tempted to write your to-do list. You may be tempted to go through your head of, oh, I forgot to do that yesterday, so I got to remember to do this afternoon. But I really encourage you to use those 5 minutes to have a conversation on paper with what is going on that you want to move forward in your life with. That you choose a time on your calendar to show up in the same spot every day, if possible, just the way you would go to the gym or do your exercise routine in a specific area to build up that muscle. So we're talking about building up your writing muscle, to take pen in hand and build up that writing muscle. So I'm going to encourage you to set a time on the calendar, make an appointment with yourself. You could put your initials in there, or you could put some other something. Nobody else has to know that this is your writing practice time. And get a journal. Could be a spiral notebook. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're doing it longhand. And write down the time of day, describe where you were sitting, because when you describe it, that grounds you in the present moment and helps you set the trigger that, oh, I have to pay attention now. I'm going to take dictation from my soul because she's writing. And we're doing our work in our journal right now. And then set a timer so you're not looking at the clock. Play some music if you want to. I personally have the same set songs that I listen to. And when I'm writing in my journal, I make a pot of tea. I get very comfortable in my little nest. And I write. I take dictation from what do I need to know right now? What is my project, my book, my next article needing me to say? There are any number of questions that you could use as writing prompts to get you going. But one of my favorites is, what do I need to know right now? What are my next steps in unleashing the story worth telling that the world is waiting to hear from me. One thing I'd like to do with you also is to give you a little meditation to perhaps get you primed to be listening to hear the words that are longing to be recorded in your journal. We'd like you to get comfortable and plant your feet flat on the floor. Maybe close your eyes. And just listen to my voice, giving you direction for a few minutes. So put all of your attention in your left ankle. Take a breath there. Now move your attention to your right knee. Thank it for everything it does for you. And move your attention to your left hip. Focus your breathing there. Thank it for supporting you. Let's go up to your right shoulder. Breathe into that. How it holds things for you. Now, drop down into your heart. And listen to what your soul, your spirit, your subconscious, your heart wants to share with you. And pick up your pen and record that. I'm going to play music for a few minutes so that you can experience how much can come up in just a few minutes. Take pen in hand and unleash your story. Okay, so that gave you an idea of what can come up in just a few minutes when you are listening to your thoughts and recording them and giving yourself a chance to slow down and problem solve and get to know yourself in this safe container of your journal. Tapping into your creativity and let it flow from your fingertips. I promise you that you will discover things about yourself that you had no idea. And you will be delighted at who you meet on the page. I have been a journalist for over 30 years because I rewrote my story. And you can rewrite your story too. And the point I want you to take away from this training is that your story matters because it is your story. And no one else can tell your story from your perspective. You are unique, just as no two snowflakes are alike. Nobody's story is just like someone else's. However, your story is meant to impact someone else. I am committed to inspiration, compassion, and synchronicity. There's a reason why you wanted to listen to this training today. You know that you have pearls of wisdom to share, just the way I wear my pearls of wisdom as a reminder that I'm going to show up. The words and the symbol of wearing the jewelry. There are pearls of wisdom from all those experiences that we have compassion for what has made us, what we have gone through to become who we are today. And whether we're a stay-at-home mom or we have a thriving business, we are women who make a difference being who we are. And having an impact on the world by being who we are. I would love to have a conversation with you if you would like to move forward in doing any kind of writing or support in this journaling thing, because it's my passion. I love, love, love talking about writing your story. I have a special journaling program that I put together where I will give you a half an hour one-on-one time with me to talk about your story, send you writing prompts for 6 weeks to get an idea of, if you wanted to use this in a business setting, how you could create a relationship online, talking about what your passions are. And then we would meet again in a group setting to talk about what all came up while you were writing and how you were going to use the wonderful things that came up in your writing going forward. If you would like to take advantage of this, send me an email at Mary@yourwritingmentor, yourwritingmentor.com, and say, yes, let's journal. And I would love to support you on this, as well as if you would like to have an Unleashed consultation, complimentary, go to my website, yourwritingmentor.com, and sign up in the box on my right side. My Schedulosity is right there on my website. You can always get a hold of me that way. I'm Mary Knipple, the Writer Unleashed, thanking you for stopping by to do this training today and letting you know that you are manifesting mothering mentors when you go to the pages of your journal to mother yourself and mentor yourself to unleash your story with writing. Thanks so much.